I'll be calling you a radical. I wanted to get this up because all this swirling around Jay Hill. Jay Hill, wherever he goes, is going to be a superstar mega coach. It really don't matter. But the hire of Whittingham at Michigan, I think Michigan will come to regret it. Whittingham was mediocre his entire career at the University of Utah. Great defensive coach. Don't get me wrong. And I mean, I love the guy, but very mediocre coach. Overrated. And I think that it will be a disaster. I'm hoping Jay Hill doesn't take it and go. I think it'd be a mistake. But Jay Hill will shine wherever he goes. If you don't think Jay Hill knows how to find, I mean, the one talent of Jay Hill, and he orchestrated one of the greatest turnarounds in sports history ever here at this corrupt nightmare program called Weber State. I call him a snowball's chance at Hill. And the reason I call is because I worked for Bruce Hanley when we were the #1 school business in the country. This program was so corrupt, so dirty, bleeding money, wanted to get rid of it. Sports Illustrated did an interview. I was standing next to Bruce. By the way, Bruce was an All-American football player here. He wanted to kill this program. And rightfully so. It was dirty, it was corrupt, bleeding money. And what's the chance of turning this program around and getting it profitable? A snowball's chance in hell, Bruce said. And so I called Jay Hill a snowball's chance in hell because he did it. And so I want to talk about Rashid and that dirty hit. Now this is important because there's no sports writers. So I've tried to pick up the slack because I got trapped here because of cancer, because of leukemia, and I've tried to do my part. You know, of course it's one way, motherfucker, you. Nobody gonna help me out. Do the dirty work. But anyway, we all held our breath when we saw that because right there on the 11-yard line, I told Rashid Shaheed's mom, dad, grandpa, sister, all of them right over there the day of that game, and Rashid earlier, I wouldn't play in this game. That game. It's meaningless. You've been invited to the combine. He played, and that dirty hit he took on the 11-yard line probably cost him a couple $100 million. It's a miracle he's even in the NFL because of that. He should have never played in that game, and it was a dirty hit. Exact same type of hit that was against the Panthers. To think that Rashid Shaheed is still playing on a practice squad free contract just shows you how, well, I've said it for years, NFL scouts are beyond pathetically stupid. They're morons. They're pitiful. He's probably, well, he's the most underrated, underpaid player in the NFL by 10 times. It's not just all speed. So that hit was dirty. Not only was that hit dirty, those Panthers are dirty. And the NFL says they're cleaning up. They're full of shit. They almost took out all three of those wide receivers with dirty hits. Smith, twice. I mean, he's got him on the sideline. He face masked him and horse collars him. Right in front of the freaking sideline ref. No call. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Then he did it again. Same guy. Dirty is dirty. I mean, he face masked him. They got it. But people forget about this one. You know, Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed are both big sky. People forget later in that game that helmet to helmet on Cooper Kupp. Right in your face. Helmet to helmet. Boom. My God. So, will Rashid play? I don't know. But think that he's still on a practice squad. My mind swims. I remember talking to Rashid right there at the spring game. Everybody lied about his injury. Constant guy says, how bad's the tear? Oh, it's a partial part. Then he's like, no, it tore all the way, Kev. You know, I remember when he says, my uncle's my agent. He didn't have an agent. He didn't have shit. Which, I mean, he was the greatest player in the history of this school. One of the greatest players in the history of the Big Sky. I mean, like, what, are they blind? Can't they see what this guy is? I mean, I knew he was going to be a superstar from his first game against Cal. I mean, it was so obvious. You know, I used to call him the Rocket, but then I changed it to Lightning Rashid. Big play Rashid. The guy is the most dynamic player in the NFL. And to think what he's making, oh, it's obscene. It just shows how pathetic the NFL has become. I mean, he's in a good spot right now with those Seahawks are that good. That defense is all that. And then if Darnold could, you know, limit the turnovers, you know, because they got running backs, they got they got special teams. They could win it without Darnold having big games. Just don't turn the ball over. They could win the Super Bowl. You know, when he becomes an unrestricted free agent, he'll get his couple $100 million, which he should be already getting. So I hope Jay Hill doesn't take it at Michigan, but BYU really fucked up. BYU was on the ropes until Jay Hill turned BYU around, not Slocky. He sucks. I mean, they should have let him go. They shouldn't have handed him all that money. He's no good. That team was mediocre as hell until Jay Hill got there. Now, you do know the feud between Kyle Wenningham and Jay Hill. Yeah, he's at University of Utah. Jay Hill played there. You know, I tell everybody, well, you know, these guys, I think, Coach Conkley here, he says, you know why Jay Hill and those guys were so good as far as DBs? Guess who they used to have to go up against every day? Steve Smith Jr. I'd like to guard that dude in practice. Whoa, talk about he'll knock you out. Whoa, that's a football player. And so I'm hoping Jay won't take it, but I think he feels betrayed again. He got betrayed at the University of Utah. That's the only reason we got him. Because Whittingham passed on him. And I talked to him about it. I mean, it's not like him and Whittingham are best bosom. He did. And Scally, I don't like him. I think the University of Utah is, well, I know they're grotesquely overrated. They were the whole Whittingham era. Whittingham's a great defensive coach. I mean, what a player, but great guy. But I think it'll be a disaster at Michigan, and I think the assistants will go with him, which they never had. But Jay, if he goes, Jay's just going to turn any program into a winner. He's that good. But they should have gave the money to him at BYU instead of think. But if Jay leaves, BYU's going to head south immediately. I'm telling you right now. I mean, he's the guy that turns around. He's that good. I really think he should be a head coach in the NFL. So that was dirty as dirty. Those Panthers were dirty. How is the NFL officials missing that? They could have took out all three. That horse collar and face mask right in front of him on Smith. I mean, my God. And that's another thing people don't realize about Rashid. They think it's a big play, big play. Oh, yeah. You know, kick return, punt return. He's got the best hands in the NFL. Look at his catch per target ratio. I think it's the best in the history of the NFL. Speed, strength, big time on third down. He's the go-to guy. And not only that, he's such a big play threat. It puts so much pressure on those DBs. Look what Smith's numbers have done since. I think the Seahawks could win the whole thing. I really do. And Rashid hasn't been updated, but that was one dirty hit, and I held my breath. Because I was videoing that right there. I got that on video on Rashid, and I knew it. I'm like, and it was dirty. It was dirty. A game he shouldn't play, but you know how loyal he is. So, Weber State football, we finally got a different coach, Eric. You know, I was hoping he kept Conley and Brent Myers, but it doesn't look like he has. But anyway, got rid of that, the worst coach in the history of the NFL. I mean, of Weber State. Jody Sears, oh my God, he was horrific, wasn't he? Who thought you could pass him? Mickey Mantle passed him. Why? Because Jody Sears didn't inherit a top 10 program in the country with 10 All-Americans on it. Oh, Mickey Mantle did. And just ripped it to shreds. By the way, I hear that Abraham Williams has been invited to the Combine. I mean, he's got enough black ink here. I mean, I think he's NFL stuff. So, of course, we know Jack Kelly is. You know, he played here. And so, I don't know. I was really surprised to see that Jay Hill's even considered. But I feel like he feels slighted. Give all the money to the head coach, because it's not the head coach that turned BYU around. It's Jay Hill. I mean, that's some kind of coach. You think about his 6 players in the NFL from here. One scholarship in the country. Opeta, Jonah Williams. How about TJ? 0-star recruit in Sacramento. I mean, highest paid nickelback in the history of the NFL at one point. Rashid, do you know they only had 1 scholarship offer in the country? And Deion Sanders is right about one thing. The NFL colludes against this division of football. Put them on. That practice squad contract is such bullshit. It's not a 2-year deal. It's a 4-year. They can re-up it, anything. I mean, it's outrageous. It's disgusting to think that he's the most underpaid, underrated player in the NFL. Well, he was here. You know, Jay Hill's a defense guy. So, all right, but the Panthers are dirty. That was some of the dirtiest shit I've seen since, you know, the old Raiders days. You know, Looked like Jack Tatum out there. So, dirty. I remember that hit on Rashid. I was like, oh, God. Rashid made the practice squad of the Saints by that much, by the skin of his teeth. I mean, I talked to him after. I mean, so emotional. His story is absolutely incredible, but, you know, there hasn't been an update in the concussion protocol. You know, it kills me how they say they're going to protect players like that, yet they let those kind of hits go on the sidelines. And it wasn't just the one on Rashid. They did it to Smith twice. I mean, face mask and horse collar on the same. They didn't call either one. Right in front of them. And then that helmet to helmet was nasty against Cooper Kupp. And they don't call it. I mean, if I was a Seahawks brass, I'd be going crazy. I'd be freaking out. Why is Rashid Shaheed got the best hands in the NFL? Which he does. He never drops a pass ever. Because he watched Kevin Blanch fighting for his life full of leukemia. Flipping that soup can. I never dropped it for years. I was focused like he is. So, I hope Jay Hill doesn't take the Michigan job, but I think he will because, well, I think he got betrayed. Well, I know he got betrayed by the University of Utah once by Whittingham, but money talks, I guess. So, we'll see if Rashid plays Sunday, but dirty. The NFL says they'll clean it up. They're full of shit. Some of these hits they're letting go on the sidelines. That was the dirtiest football I've seen in years. That was really dirty on Rashid. That was a nasty. It just shows how tough he is. But the other two on Smith were worse. The helmet to helmet was even worse on Kupp. Those Panthers are dirty. Those dirty players, and well, it's the referees. The officiating in the NFL is dirty. Stay in tune.